You all right? Come on. Last day.
Yeah.
Right, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks for the lift, love.
Hey, no problem.
Is Grandad running late?
He's not coming.
Oh, Lise. I know he's upset you, but come on. It's me up there today, not you.
Leave it, Debbie.
Miss Dingle, you saw Lisa Dingle at her home on the 7th of January, the night after the alleged attack. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you describe that meeting?
I heard she was off sick from work, so I went to check on her. She was upset, so I took her back to my house.
Did she tell you why she was upset?
Yeah. She'd been raped.
Did she tell you who by?
No, she said it was a stranger. And she didn't get a good look at his face.
As far as you know, had she told her husband?
No.
We already know that Mrs. Dingle let my client kiss her on the night before the alleged attack. Did you ever witness any flirtatious behavior between them?
No, I didn't.
You never saw them flirt?
Not like you're thinking, no.
Miss Dingle, you're under oath.
They messed about, joking and stuff, but it was never serious.
That you knew of?
My granddad was there. I hardly think she'd give Derek the come on with her husband next door, would she?
And when, in your opinion, would she give him the come on?
Lisa didn't make this up. I know her. I've never seen her in such a state.
Then why didn't you take her back into her husband?
Sorry?
That night when you found her outside in the dark, all worked up and shaky. Was it because she couldn't face him?
No, it was because she'd been raped.
So she claims. Miss Dingle, would you say you were close to your grandfather?
Close enough.
What would he find most difficult to deal with? His wife having sex with another man because she was forced? Or because she wanted to? After your one-night stand with Mrs. Dingle, how did she react when you told her you didn't want to take things any further?
She was upset. I tried to let her down gently. Then she gave me the silent treatment.
And why do you think it was, 7 weeks later, that she suddenly accused you of rape?
I was starting to get closer to Lizzie, her mate. But Lisa wasn't having that. She was snapping at the girls, telling me to back off, but I wouldn't. So, she stands up and says the worst thing she could.
I have no further questions. My learned friend may have some questions for you.
Mr. Benrose, would you say that you have many female friends?
More than I can count.
And do you go out with them socially?
All the time. Get a whole gang of us together, we go to the pub, we go out dancing.
Do you ever kiss any of these women on the cheek?
Maybe. The end of the night.
So do you want to have sex with them all?
No.
And do you think they want to have sex with you?
No.
So what did it mean then, this peck on the cheek that you gave Mrs. Dingle?
Don't know.
You don't know?
There's lots of meanings in it.
Could one of them have been friendship? Could Mrs. Dingle have accepted your kiss because she was your friend?
It's not what I thought at the time.
Let's move on to the night of the alleged assault on Mrs. Dingle. Can you describe what happened in the staff room?
I put my arms round her, and we kissed. Then, we couldn't keep our hands off each other.
Did you realize that Mrs. Dingle was crying?
No.
She says she shut down, that she closed her eyes and waited for it to be over.
Didn't seem like that to me. She was up for it as well.
I'm sorry. You have sexual intercourse with a woman who doesn't reciprocate, who's rigid with fear, and you think she was up for it as well?
She was.
No, I'll tell you what she was, Mr. Benrose. She was a woman in fear of her life. A woman who thought of you as a friend, a woman whose trust you betrayed in the worst possible way. A woman who you raped.
Look, I'm no saint, all right? I'm not proud of getting off with married women. But I've not done anything that they didn't want. And adultery isn't a crime.
There are 2 counts on the indictment relating to allegations of rape by 2 different women. And you must decide on each case separately according to its individual merit. And what you must decide here today is if Mr. Benrose had sexual intercourse with Mrs. Dingle and or Mrs. Aston against their will.
We may as well all go home. Could be hours yet.
No chance, we're not missing best bit.
I want to see that smarmy grin wiped off his face.
This is good. Juries are supposed to take ages.
Are you going to call Grandad?
No?
Well, he could still make it for the verdict.
What's the point in that?
Lisa.
I'm not having him here, Debbie.
Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
We have.
In respect of count 1, the rape of Claire Aston, how do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In respect of count 2, the rape of Lisa Dingle, how do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Do you want me to come in?
No, love.
Come here. So proud of you.
You go on.